I didn't realise how much football meant to the people of Liverpool until that happened. Because I don't think any other city could have recovered from it, but Liverpool did. Liverpool Football did. Liverpool Football Club recovered from it. We won the championship the next season, and I'm not so sure even if we should have played in the cup final. I always got the feeling, and I felt a bit guilty doing a lap of honour and celebrating. How would I feel if I had lost a son watching the FA Cup final? I mean, I don't think there's some people that lost relatives come back to Anfield all the time. I don't think I would have gone back to Anfield. I really don't. I think I would never have watched football again. 96 people died, and there was a Liverpool player at every funeral. I think that it definitely unified the city of Liverpool. Tranmere stopped playing, Everton stopped playing. There's supposed to be an unbelievable rivalry between Liverpool and Manchester United. Apparently the first person on the phone to ask Kenny if he needed any help or any player, his players could come to funerals was Alex Ferguson at Manchester United. I think the whole of football was unified. Well, obviously being Scottish, I've always been an ardent Scotland fan, and I first went to watch Scotland when I was about 7 and just kept going to Hampden to watch them. 134,000 against England in 1968, and then we used to go to the night matches with the school, and you'd stand there and you'd dream about playing for Scotland, and you stand the terraces there and think you get your right arm just to play once for Scotland. People say I must have regrets because I should have had 80, 90, 100 caps, but I don't. At Liverpool I learned not to look back right throughout my career, and to play once for Scotland was super. To play 26 times was great, alright. I certainly had my ups and downs, and I think that the biggest thing in international football is you've got to adapt to different players, different systems. My biggest feeling initially for Scotland was that I didn't adapt. At Liverpool we played a system where you pushed up and held a line, and of course when I went to play for Scotland they played a different system where they would defend deep, would defend the 18-yard box, and what I found was that I was pushing up and the other three were defending the 18-yard box. It was going over my head, and it was unfortunate because by the time I had the 26 caps, I think 24 or 25, it was only in about 1983-84, and I actually played my best football after that, and I only got another couple of caps. But I think the centre defence should better gone for a partnership, a club partnership, and Miller and McLeish were an Aberdeen partnership, and they were playing quite well for Scotland, and I never seemed to get a look in. A lot of people said it was unfortunate, but it's just the way it goes. I was happy to be part of that setup. I played in the World Cup, played under a great manager, Jock Stein, with a great deal of faith in me. And a lot of people, again, mostly from the media, would say I never played well for Scotland, but I don't agree with that. Jock Stein said I was the best player in the 1982 World Cup, was the best player in the qualifying games. It was just unfortunate, it never really worked out for me. Again, I have to go back to the fact that when I played the best football for Liverpool, when I was more experienced and when I've been able to adapt to different systems, they never picked me. I think one of the biggest things was the 1986 World Cup where Alex Ferguson didn't pick me for that side. Now, I don't think it would have been any different if I had gone to Mexico, and as much as I don't think it would have influenced it that much that they would have won the World Cup, but I was captain of a double-winning side that year and played one of the best seasons I ever played. And Jan tried to tell me I couldn't get in a squad of 22 players. But it was funny how it happened, because a week before it was announced, everybody said I was a certainty to be in the squad, and I thought myself I was a certainty to be in the squad. And we played against Chelsea on the Saturday and beat them 1-0. And we went up to Scotland that same night for Dalglish's testimonial, his Scottish testimonial. And Alex Ferguson was managing a team of home Scots, and Tommy Docherty was managing a team of England Scots. And of course, we've just won the First Division Championship, and I've been captain. And I get up there and my adrenaline's pumping so much I can't get to sleep. So at 5 o'clock in the morning I get the Scottish papers, and I pick the first one up, and the back page lead is Hansen, Speedy, and somebody else will be the unlucky ones that won't make the Scottish squad. So I look at this and I think, that's a mistake. So then I pick up the Scottish Sunday Mail and it's the same thing. And I'm thinking, not in this squad. So when I go to Hampden, I know for a fact that Alex Ferguson's reaction will tell me if I'm in the squad or not. Because I'd always been friendly with Alex, and he'd talk about Liverpool and I'd talk about Aberdeen, and we'd talk about football. And I know that if he blanks me, I ain't in the squad. So I get to Hampden, first person I see is Alex, blanks me. So I go to Dalglish and I say to him, I'm not in the squad, you know. So he says, no problem, you're in it. So the squad's coming out on the Thursday. Tuesday morning, I get a phone call from one of the Sunday papers saying, well, you do an exclusive about you not being in the Scotland squad. I said, wait a minute. I said, the squad doesn't come out till Thursday. He says, well, I can tell you categorically you're not in it. Will you do an exclusive? I said, no. I said, wait a minute, I'll wait. So I'm back on the phone to Dalglish. I said, hey, I'm not in the squad. He says, look, you're in it. So the Wednesday comes, the day before the squad's announced, phone call. Alex Ferguson's on the phone. And he says to me, I'm sorry you haven't made the squad. He said, will you go to standby? Got to be fair to the players that have played in the qualifying games and the players that have been in the squad. But he hasn't mentioned that I've been in every squad. But he said, will you go on standby? So I said, yeah, no problem, we'll go on standby. So we have a little chat and he goes off the phone. So I go straight on the phone to Kenny and said to him, told you, he's just been on the phone, I'm not in the squad. So he cannot believe it. And they're going to train the next day. The Liverpool colleagues cannot believe it. And the press in the Northwest can't believe it. They're on the phone to me, wanting me to come and slaughter Alex Ferguson. And no, that's not the way to do it. He hasn't picked me, he's got his reasons, and you've got to stand by that. You've got to abide by that. And if I'm called on, I'll go and play for Scotland. And looking back, I don't have any regrets about it. I just find it baffling that I could not get in a squad of 22. And I think I did the right thing not coming out in print. And I certainly got a lot of accolades for not doing it. I think I definitely did the right thing there. I want to say the one back later on when Alex criticised me for being, as a TV pundit, being a Liverpool supporter and anti-Manchester United. And I was able to say then, you can't please all the people all the time. And basically, that's why I never went shouting my mouth off in 1986 when he didn't pick me for the Scotland squad. And after that, I think I won one cap. And it was funny because 1990, I was keeping Gary Gillespie at the Liverpool team, but he was in the Scotland team and I wasn't getting picked. But again, no regrets. I haven't got any regrets. It was great to play for Scotland. A fantastic bunch of players. We had some great players, and it probably is a mystery why, with the great squads of players we had, that they weren't more successful. But it's probably because I think that basically we had an Anglo-Scot divide, and you'd go for walks before the game at Turnberry and there'd be 12 home Scots, half a mile in front of the 12 Anglo-Scots, and what that creates is jealousy and suspicion. And if you take that into the pictures we found at Liverpool, where we had it the other way, where the team spirit was so good that you felt you were in front before you started, if you have bad team spirit then you're behind before you started. I don't think team spirit was great up there. I think in that game with the home Scots against the Anglo-Scots, that because it was Kenny's game, they were pretty fair. I think that the biggest thing about the crowd at Hampden was that if you're an Anglo-Scot, I didn't think they treated you as fairly as if you're a home Scot. I think that Dalglish got it for years at Hampden. I remember one game against Argentina in 1980 where they booed Dalglish every time he touched it. And then after that, Graham Souness got it. And they'd boo him in the warm-up. And then for some reason they turned on me, and I was pretty sick when Souness wasn't playing. I was happy Souness was playing in the team, because he would get it and then they'd leave me alone. And it's pretty frustrating. I played one game against Switzerland and I go for the warm-up, and I'm warming up with Stevie Nicol. And every time I touch it in the warm-up, the crowd start to boo, and you wouldn't believe how counterproductive that is. It's great if the opposition is booing you, because that means you're a good player. But the home side start giving you stick. And before the game, it makes you. I was nervous when I was getting the ball in that game, and when they're getting behind the side, they're worth a goal at the start, the Scottish crowd. But when they're getting on top of it, it's just like any supporters. And I go to Liverpool now, and throughout the years, if they're having a go at certain people, I'll turn to the guys beside me and say, well, you aren't doing them any good having a go at them. What you've got to do is encourage them. But it's very difficult because sometimes crowds are so passionate and want their team to win so much that they'll have a go at players. But if you start getting on to them too much, then it affects their confidence. You see, I always feel about football supporters that if they go to a game and say a player has an ordinary game, if they do 5 good things, and 5 bad things, and 5 ordinary things in the game, then if he's a favourite of yours, the player, then you'll remember the 5 good things. If he's not a favourite, then you'll remember the 5 bad things. And it's amazing how press and media can influence supporters. And I had a bad 3 months at Liverpool, and the crowd went against me, and my confidence went completely. And it took me a long while to get them back, but once I had them back, you can play badly, and it doesn't really matter. They'll always be on your side. And latterly at Liverpool, the crowd was so much for me that it was just unbelievable. And that's what I'm saying. If the crowd are on your side, then it gives you so much of a boost. And that's for anybody. Even the best players in the world need the crowd on their side.
Please wind to the end of the tape and turn over to hear Alan talk about some of the great Liverpool players he played with.